All right. So do you put your video out like right away? Do you try and put your videos out right away? Because I know a certain Tong Po likes to beat the races and put his videos out like right away.
It depends. Sometimes I do. If
Yeah.
if it's a big event or like I know, usually it's like, do I know the shooters are gonna want to see it right away because
Oh yeah, for sure.
everyone like wants to see the video right away, right? So
Yeah.
some stuff I do. Other times, I don't know. The big problem is half the time you're waiting for like an audio file from somebody, and then
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
they're like still driving back somewhere on Sunday or whatever, and then so a lot of times if I don't get it done Sunday, then the work week creeps in, and before I know it, it's Thursday. And
Hmm.
so, I mean, I try to be fast, but it's also because if I don't do it quick, I'm just not gonna do it.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was talking. What was it? Where were we? It was Pyro Jam last year. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because we were there, and he was like, "Come on, we got to get back to the hotel so I can upload this. I got to be first." And I was like, "All right, all right." we
Brandon is not all about being first. He doesn't have to be first, I guess, to everything.
Yeah.
They're what like it's weird. I mean, obviously now like the people that are first, the people that just upload it from their phone, and
Oh, for
if
sure.
if you record it on your phone, upload it on your phone, and watch it on your phone, it all looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you take what you recorded on your phone and throw it on your 75-inch TV, it doesn't
Doesn't look
quite,
as good. Yeah.
doesn't quite
Yeah.
look as good anymore. So,
Same thing for like a GoPro. Or you think those do pretty good on a TV then, or?
I don't know. I haven't messed with like a recent GoPro. I think the
Yeah.
latest GoPro we have is like a Hero 7 or something.
Hero 7.
But I mean, it like fireworks really comes down to sensor size, and GoPro
Oh, for
sensors
sure.
are still a lot smaller than like a full frame sensor, and so
Yeah.
you're gonna get more noise regardless. I think GoPros. Well, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but I've always thought that the GoPro 2 had the best audio compressor
Mm.
that I've encountered in a long time. It somehow does great.
Yeah.
The Fro can probably lament about the problems of capturing fireworks audio. I think that's harder than capturing fireworks video, is
Yeah, that
capturing
makes sense.
fireworks audio, because it's most microphones don't go down low enough to capture
Yeah.
the low ends of salutes, and it's the same thing as video. Video, you're trying to record something light in a very dark environment, and it's kind of the same thing with audio for fireworks. You're trying to record something extremely loud in an otherwise not nearly as loud environment, so you get lots of clipping and lots of peaks, and so
Yeah.
it's all basically a compromise.
Have you played Cobra Con on a big TV yet, Donnie?
I don't think so. I don't think I have yet now.
I'm like tempted to
Yeah.
pull it up
I
down
know
here.
I should. Yeah, I should do that.
I have to do it because you were running an 11, right? The Hero 11.
10, I think.
Was
One's
it
a
the
10. One's a GoPro 10. So, I mean, it does pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be curious
it's
to see
GoPro 4K quality. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be curious to see anything that has any like AI chips built in now, because some of the
Mhm.
cameras are starting to have AI chips built in, and I would bet that they have an algorithm for like fireworks,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I bet those would do pretty good because it would probably automatically compensate for a lot of the things most people don't think to set, or don't know how to set, or
Yeah.
can't set on their camera.
Now you got me thinking. Like, I just recorded all of our demo last weekend with my GoPros and my iPhone, and I wonder which. Like, I was primarily trying to use my iPhone, and now I'm like, man, maybe the GoPro is going to be better. I mean, I turned them all into 4K, but
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pyro Unleashed. Tune in weekly as Donnie and David discuss all things pyro, from the business aspect of the industry to technical tips and mesmerizing pyro designs. On Pyro Unleashed, we invite cutting-edge experts to the podcast to discuss their role in making this industry a success. So, sit back and unleash your inner pyro with us.
Episode 13, I think, right?
Should
I think
be.
It's going to be episode 13. Yeah.
yeah,
We had an off week last week and
good.
Just busy. Got back from
Just
Cobra Con and we were
tariffs,
just
man.
swamped.
It's Cobra Con, finalizing all that, clean up, and then I think I don't even remember. It was a ridiculous amount. My wife would yell at me, and I would like have to stop working at 10 o'clock at night. It was like that for like 6 days straight. So,
Yeah, so unfortunately, we didn't get an episode last week. But you still got finale tip last week, so that
did
was
get the
good.
finale tip, and
Yeah.
from now on, you should be seeing one through
Every week,
Yeah,
I think, at the
every
end
week.
of at the middle of June, I think.
the middle of June.
Yeah.
And by then, you should be wrapping up your show. If you haven't, then I'll give you my phone number and we can have a chat
Okay.
because you're late. But,
Again, want to give a shout to Cobra, our sponsor for the season,
Yeah.
and wonderful Cobra Con experience that we had over there, and really enjoyed everything about that.
yeah, placed my order. Got the 12% off and the 50% off of shipping.
Yeah.
So
I
Can't
might
wait
have
for
ordered a
that.
couple things as well.
yeah,
Added to my equipment.
I got a 36 with onboard cues. Actually, no, this one did not. I'm sorry. This is just the slats. So should be.
Quick plug.
Yeah, they are quick plug.
Oh, look! Wow,
Yeah, I got my case of quick plug match in Sunday actually. So
Return you over to the dark side.
Yeah. So should have that. I got it with DMX.
Yep.
So I'm going to be taking full advantage of the 20,000 queues or 20,000 events, right?
Yeah,
with
there you go.
with the new software. So looking forward to doing some testing. While I was at CobraCon, Miles brought me 16 more can lights or par lights, so
Yeah.
I'm up to like 31. I don't know. We'll see what we can do with that. 2 moving heads. After this weekend, I'll have 4 flame units. So
You're gonna need a pallet just for all your DMX cables.
yeah, I have a road case just full of DMX cables right now. Yeah, and yeah, extension cables. So
Crazy.
it'll
Well,
be
you
worth a
might
fortune
have
for
seen
you.
our guest here before, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Or people may not know who he looks
not
like.
know
They don't know who Brandon is.
Yeah.
They don't really know the
The man, the myth.
The Firecat8.
the legend.
Yeah.
Firecat8.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess let's kind of dive into who Brandon is, Firecat8, and how you kind of became. I mean, in the pyro world, from my opinion, you're pretty YouTube famous. So we'll chat about that and explain a little bit about how you got into fireworks and yeah.
Yeah, so I think I was probably 5 or 6, and so fireworks were not legal where we lived, and we were at my grandparents having a cookout, but they used to be legal, like when my dad was a kid, and so he had a bunch of fireworks left over, and so like when I was 5 or 6, he went to my grandparents' backyard in the very corner and lit one ladyfinger, and that was it, like for that year. But I was hooked. I thought it was awesome. And it just so happened that like the next year they legalized fireworks in the town that I lived in. And so we got to do some more. And then it just so happened that like my best friend, his uncle ran a fireworks stand like the next town over.
Nice.
And so I don't know, we were probably 7 or 8. And so my best friend and I would go in June and would use a label gun and just like price everything.
Yeah.
And like would spend like 2 weeks pricing everything in his stand. And at the end of it all, he'd like give us a basket full of free fireworks or whatever. And like, looking back on it, it's definitely child labor. But I have this funny memory of he caught me one time. He was like, "Yeah, you can fill up that whole basket." And so sometimes I'm a little socially awkward with things like that. And so he caught me like taking things out of the basket so that I could pack them in there more efficiently so that I could get more free stuff. And he's like, "Just take it all." And then he like gave me a big assortment too. And
That's awesome.
that was, that was, and so from there it kind of escalated. That's always like what I look forward to in the summer is like going to stands with my dad, and would always get some X-Cals and
Oh yeah.
and then I don't remember. I found Pyro U. I think I'd been there a few years, like after the 4th, to see some stuff. But then when I was in college, I don't know, junior year of college, I found Pyro U, or remembered Pyro U, before the 4th of July, and saw that Dale Sisboom had a demo coming up, and so went down there and checked that out, and that's kind of where it all went downhill from there.
Yeah.
I went to a few demos that I never videoed or whatever. Like I didn't have a camera then.
Yeah.
But then the year after I graduated college, my wife and I got married, and we got like a little Sony Handycam video camera, like to take on our honeymoon, and we went to Las Fallas. So somehow I suckered her into like, we should go watch fireworks for our honeymoon.
That's awesome.
Well, I did propose on the 4th of July, so like,
Oh, that's good.
I kind of planned it out in the middle of a fireworks show. So she's like kind of on the hook to like fireworks. So we went to Las Fallas, so I wanted a camera to like record that stuff. And then I had a camera, and so I kept going to Dale's demos, and I'd record the videos, and like nobody else was, well, some people were posting videos, but like YouTube didn't exist back then. Like, I mean, it wasn't big back then.
Yeah.
Like you would post stuff on YouTube, and they'd be like, why are you posting this on YouTube? Post it on the Pyro U gallery. Like that's where people want to see it. You know? They'd razz you if you posted it on YouTube. But like there weren't lots of videos back then, so it was a big deal if somebody filmed a whole demo and posted the stuff. You could find out what it all does. So yeah, it's kind of where it all started, and kind of just as a service to the Pyro community, and then just kept filming stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many videos I have now. 3,000 some videos on YouTube. So it really tapered off once I stopped posting like the individual demo videos. Like, I don't know. That's probably what has most of my views, but I don't know. Not that interesting to me anymore, I guess.
So when did you get started into like scripting and shooting shows? Because I've seen a couple of shows.
I think the show that I proposed to my wife at would have been like the second show I did in a cul-de-sac. All the neighbors were cool with it. So that was probably I don't know, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
So the very first show I ever did was with a 12Q E-Made in China wireless system in the rain, and like half of it didn't work. I don't know if it was the E-Made in China system or the rain on the fuse or whatever, because the fuse show is like 12 remotes basically. So that didn't work very well. And then the next year after that, I had a Dewey 32Q. But that show had like 120 E-match in it. Or they were Talons back then. But so there was like 1,000 feet of scab wire in that show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And but that was cool because like I could like start a cake and hit some mines at the same time or whatever, and so that was fun because like where we lived, there's lots of fireworks going on, and everybody just stopped shooting for 20 minutes while this little kid does his show or whatever. And so I think I had the Dewey 1 or 2 years, and maybe 3, and then joined KCAP or helped start KCAP, whatever. KCAP was kind of around unofficially, but technically I was a charter member when it officially got formed. And so they had a Cobra group buy, and I got some stuff there. And like the show that I shot at 76 was probably the first big show, like actual pyro musical I did. That was 2014. I don't know if I did anything at the club before. I may have done something with the club before then. I don't know. It's all kind of blurry back then.
Yeah. When did you start going to, I guess, what is now known as Sky Wars?
Before my wife and I were married, so either 2009 or 2010, probably.
Oh, okay. Well, so you were back there ways. So
Yeah,
you were in the valley
back
like every year.
Springdale Park, and
Yeah.
it was a lot different back then.
The dog, what was it, the charity or the
Paw
was
Stop,
it?
Paw
Paw Stop,
Stoppers.
yeah.
Yep.
Uh, my first year was in 15 when we did the closer with Mercy. What was the name of that song? I can't even think of it. But yeah, in 15 when we did the closer.
The Western music.
Yeah, the country music.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one. Back when Coach Timmy was, him and Ron Schweers were going at it. I think they were putting stuff on the pond. Yeah, the tower. Like, oh man,
I haven't thought about Ron in a while.
Does he still
do pyro?
I don't think so. I think I just seen some on Facebook about him. Actually,
he ruined all my demo footage that year.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I was at 2015 or 2016, but at that site, there was one year where Friday night it was pouring buckets.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was standing out under an umbrella filming the demo, and he walks up next to me and he talks to me the entire time. And none of it was usable because like every 10 seconds, F this, F that. But I mean, it's probably worthless video anyways. It was raining so hard. So I was like, whatever. I mean, I was enjoying the conversation, but
that's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now you've actually shot a show at one of those years, didn't you?
I shot Pro-Am the year it rained a ton, and we don't have to talk about that.
I think that was 16.
It didn't go well.
Yeah.
I think it's on the Discord questions. I think somebody on Discord asked about that.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
He was too focused on.
I may have to filter some of my comments.
Of all the years from Skyward, do you have like a favorite moment, favorite show from all those years?
Chicken dance.
A favorite moment from the Pyro perspective. I don't know that I do. Like they're all just pretty great. Has Bill Corbett been on this before? Have you talked
not with us? Yeah.
No. Have you guys been? Do you know about the photo?
I've heard about it. Obviously, I've heard about it.
Yeah. That's a pretty
Everybody
memorable.
was really close.
That's a pretty memorable moment. Yeah.
Too close.
Bill's a really good guy, so no shade on him for this, but it was pretty funny because he as he was telling everybody where to stand and everything, he's like, I've been doing this forever, and I know exactly what I'm doing, and then it was pretty hot. It was pretty funny.
I think I think it was only like 85 gallons at CobraCon this year, and it was like got a second tan. It was hot. Like I literally turned around and started like ducking and walking away. I was like, "Wow, this thing is toasty."
Yeah, there's a video I have that cuts off pretty darn quick. There's a non-public version of that video where you can see a little bit more.
Yeah. Outside of Skywars, any other the big pyro events that you've attended?
I've been to Winter Blast a few times, courtesy of 76. I don't know that I've been to anything else in the States. Been to Las Fallas twice, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Sometime I want to go to Malta, but haven't worked that out yet. And I don't know. I keep trying to get Dan to send me to China with him sometime. But
one of my good friends actually just came back from Malta, and he has pictures. They let him walk the factories, and he was holding like 19-inch shells. So I don't know what that comes out to in millimeters or whatever. Big.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was really cool to see some of the stuff, like the multi-break shells and
Yeah.
So he was actually supposed to leave the day after the Tower of Lights. So he was actually supposed to see like the big tower and everything. And because the Pope passed away, they pushed it back a day. He left the morning that the Tower of Lights went off. I was like, oh,
That stinks.
That's brutal.
I'm going to be postponing my ticket. I'm seeing this if I came all the way out here for this.
Oh, I guess PGI. Yeah, I've been
PGI.
to PGI several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned Lost Falls a couple of times. Yeah, how was that experience? You said you've been twice.
I have.
Yeah.
How was the experience being and all of that?
It is the most exhausting experience of my life. So, yeah, depending upon how much you know about it, it's not just fireworks. Like,
Yeah.
so you definitely want to stay in the city. We stayed on the beach for our honeymoon, which was nice, but then you got to take the tram or like the subway into the city to get to anything, and that takes forever. So the second time we went, we stayed in the city, which is great for getting around, but there's marching bands, like literally at like over 100 marching bands that go around at 8 a.m. to wake everybody up. If you want to see the Mosquitos, those are typically like the big one, the main one is usually I think at 11 a.m. And if you want to want to see it, like be within visual distance of it, you need to be there at least 2 hours early, at least on the bigger days. And you'll be packed in there like sardines. Like you can't get out once you're in. I mean, it's crazy. So you're waking up at, super early, 8 a.m. or whatever, when the marching bands are coming around so that you can go get where you want to get to see the stuff. And then the nighttime shows are somewhere between like 1 and 2 a.m.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, you're getting to bed at 3 to 4 a.m. if you're like prioritizing getting to bed, like seeing the show and going, because the shows are long. Some of the shows are like 30 minutes long at night.
Wow.
And then you're getting back up, and yes, then you're just trying to sneak a nap in during the day or whatever. So it's super exhausting. It's super awesome that if you've never been to a real Mosquita, like maybe someone in the U.S. has done one that's actually legit, but I don't think you can unless you're doing it in the middle of an old city. Like it's reverberating off all those buildings and everything. Like it is so incredibly loud. You can't describe it. And anyone that I think anyone in the U.S. that hasn't been to it or been to one that thinks they know what it's like doesn't know. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it or anything. It's just it's so cool. And what I think is the coolest thing is like culturally, they just all like fireworks.
Yeah.
Like the whole. I mean, probably not everyone, but like when it's done, like there's a couple of rows of barricades for the main Mosquita every day. And as soon as it's done, the first set of barricades go down so that the whole crowd can like rush in and like they're cheering on the guys that shot that show.
Oh, wow.
And, I don't know. It's just in the U.S. like people don't seem to care that much,
Yeah.
So they culturally like it.
I was gonna say it's like spiritual and cultural out there, right? I mean, it's part, and it's physically a part of their life. I mean, sure, we use fireworks typically to celebrate independence here, but it's not like per se like that cultural, I guess.
Yeah, so it's and like it's just cool. I mean, like little kids walking around the street throwing firecrackers out and stuff. I mean, like here parents would be taken to jail if they let their kids walk around and throw firecrackers in public. And then the teenagers.
It's all in the city streets, which is crazy. It's
the teenagers get a little crazy. They have these things. If you go to my channel and look up some of the oldest videos, there's some videos of some of the crazy stuff that happens. But I don't remember what they're called, but they're basically gerbs they have. And so like I would film in the evening from up on the bridge, and it's a bridge over like a dried out riverbed that's been turned into a park. So people are down below you, and it's just a park down there. And like that's where all the teenagers would go, and they would basically like throw these gerbs like from one crowd into another, and like the gerbs spin for a while and then they stop and there's like time fuse in there and then they go again and spin.
Wow.
And they just chuck them right into the middle of the crowd.
Wow.
and the crowd flees everywhere, and then like they think it's done, right, and then it kicks up again. They run everywhere. And it's like, yeah, it's a very different culture. And then on the last day we were there, there's just mosquitoes everywhere. I mean, all throughout the town, all times a day. And so we were would just be walking around, and there'd be one. And those ones I was literally 2 feet from the chain link fence, and it's 2 feet on the other side of the chain link fence. I had ringing in my ears for about 48 hours after that. So
Wow. That's
the whole plane ride home. And then, so the other thing that, if you've only like watched the Pyro stuff, they build all these huge paper mache, like they're like satirical paper, like giant paper mache creations. Some of them are 20 feet tall, 30 feet tall, 40 feet tall. And they burn them all on the final night.
Wow.
And I mean, they'll bring the fire department in, and they're sitting at the intersection of streets, and they'll bring the fire department in and just hose down the whole entire building so the building doesn't catch on fire, so they can light this 40-foot tall paper mache and wood thing on fire. Some of them have fireworks. So like if you're at a higher elevation in the city, you just look over the city, and they time it out so the fire department can like get to different ones, because there's hundreds of them that they burn.
Yeah.
But if you look out over the city, the whole city looks like it's just burning.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's a really neat experience. It's exhausting, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun to go to. And how long is that? Like a week, isn't it?
So yeah, like the I would go for like the last week or the last 5 days or something. I think the Mosquitoes in the square, I think that competition goes for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Like
I think it starts like March 1st.
Yeah,
I think March 1st is when it starts.
Early,
yeah.
Interesting.
But
Jessica and I are actually looking at going to Las Vegas maybe next year.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
You're going next year?
I think we're playing it. Yeah. So I think we want to go back to Tomorrowland again in France, and this time Tomorrowland's the week after Las Vegas. Where we were there this last year, it happened on the same week, and so we're thinking next year.
I think. I'm pretty sure that's our 15-year wedding anniversary. So,
make yourself a hole. Don't say the wrong date.
So, yeah. So
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
What's your favorite show you've ever scripted?
that I've ever scripted.
Yeah.
The Pro-Am show that I shot twice.
Okay. Twice.
Yeah, you guys want to hear that story?
Why not? Let's dive into it.
Might as well.
Okay, so this requires explaining the thing I didn't want to explain. So 2016 was the year I did Pro-Am at Sky Wars or Pyromania, and
No.
we never got to the bottom of this, but what happened was me and I forget his name, one of the other Pro-Am shooters, both had, I forget what Cobra calls it, but basically Cobra says we had both accidentally reset our MAC address to all zeros. I will contend that they shipped it that way, but because my Cobra was really old. But anyways, so Cobra basically authenticates against, I forget what they call it, but basically it's a MAC address and then another identifier for your remote. So it's like dual authentication that like I'm connected to the right remote. And so I wasn't picking up his mods weren't picking up my remote or anything. Like it was all fine from that perspective, but they were just getting super confused trying to find the remote. When I went to arm my show, it was fine during the day testing continuity and everything, but when his remote was on and my remote was on, all of my mods trying to find my remote were also finding his remote, and they're like, what the hell's going on? So when I'd go to arm my show, it just wouldn't lock in. Like I had, I don't remember, 43 mods in the show, which will give you an idea of like what the scope of Sky Wars was like back then.
Oh yeah.
And I think, I mean, Rob basically yelled at me. I was like, you got to start. And I think like 19 mods had picked up at that time, like when I finally started. What was weird is most of them picked up shortly after that. There's like something about actually being in fire mode that made the rest of them sink in, because we've been waiting 30 minutes like for him to walk in. And then the weather was super terrible, so you couldn't see half the show anyways because it was smoky. So that didn't go great. And I didn't win. Obviously, T-Trap won that. I think his audio won that. But and so it was his name, Brett or Brent Foley. I think it's Brent Foley was the other guy. So like his show was fine though, because then I turned my remote off. And then so his mods picked up fine because I went before him. So I think that's how that went. So that was weird. But that was the year that it rained 5 inches on Friday. And we couldn't take any vehicles out in the field on Saturday. Like it all had to be ATV'd out there, cleaning up. They did let us take some trucks out there, but I guess we trashed the place.
It was bad.
Mo Pyro wasn't allowed back next year. Like they got kicked out. So it wasn't until PGI the next year, 2017. Like I was at PGI when the word came through that like Sky Wars was actually happening. Like up until that point, they didn't know if it was happening. And it was also happening super early that year. It was happening like the second week of September or something like that.
Yeah.
A couple weeks earlier. And they were just looking for anybody to shoot shows because obviously they hadn't planned anything yet because they didn't know if it was happening. So KCAP said, yeah, we'll shoot a show. And I had either saved all the product that didn't go, and I had rebought most of the 1.4 product that I needed to reshoot the Pro-Am at some point just because I wanted to see the show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I mean, I'll donate all the 1.4 and reshoot this show. You give us a budget for the 1.3 and we'll throw in a bunch of 1.3 on top of it and we'll shoot a show. And so I don't remember how we came to that agreement, but Mo Pyro was on board with that. KCAP was on board with that. It made some people in KCAP mad, I guess, because it wasn't a group effort to script the show, but it was like we literally had, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks to pull it all together. I scripted the show. We were taking a vacation to Hawaii at the time, so I literally like scripted half the 1.3 end of the show. We added one song, and then obviously all the 1.3. I scripted most of the 1.3 into the show in the airport, just so I could figure out like what product we were getting and stuff, and get that figured out in time. But it all came together fine. So I enjoyed that. It was like interstellar type music.
Yeah.
A slower. I like slower, more dramatic stuff instead of super fast upbeat.
It's funny you say that because I was just like, actually I was watching Judy's show, Firemax's show from CobraCon, and I was watching some of that. I was listening to some of that author's his music, and I was like, yep, I could build a soundtrack off of this guy's. I mean, it's really good stuff. So, not telling anybody to go listen to it because I don't want you to, but it was good. But yeah.
This is the Pyro Unleashed Cake Review, brought to you by PGI.
We have sponsored by PGI. Since its founding in 1969, the PGI has been dedicated to helping you do whatever you love and want to do in fireworks, legally and safely. Whether that is enjoying consumer fireworks with family and friends, becoming a fireworks display operator, learning how fireworks are made, photographing firework displays, collecting pyro memorabilia, or all those things and everything in between, there are PGI members that share those same passions. This year, PGI is holding their annual convention in Boone, Iowa from August 2nd to the 9th. Make it to PGI this year, Brandon?
I don't know. I need to find an Airbnb, and I need to find a crew to work on to get me a crew pass. So
a crew pass to work on.
That's
how Brandon likes to go. Brandon likes to go with the media pass or crew pass.
Yeah, I mean, I like to watch the shows and film the shows. I'm not super into some of the other stuff. No, I mean, no offense. Like, I've been before and just kind of not quite my cup of tea. The most fun I had at PGI was Chris and I went. We just went to the public shows in Gillette one time just because I wanted to see the whatever the 50th anniversary was or whatever. So we just got public passes. That worked out great.
All right. So what I have for us this week, so it just came from the Spirit of 76 demo.
Oh.
And so this was happened to be something that they shot at the Spirit of 76 demo this last weekend. And we'll take a look at it and see what we like. This is called Texas Tornado.
Mm. Oh, a new brand, huh?
It's a, yes. So Cowboy is one of the brand new brands exclusive to Spirit of 76. And we will take a look here. This is a 500 gram cake.
Is that
very nice single effect cake there?
I couldn't hear. Is that crackle?
Yeah, it was a slight crackle, not overpowering, but yeah.
Okay, interesting. I like that.
Yeah, in the video it's hard to hear.
It's
And
more
in
of like,
person, you hear it. You can hear it a little bit in person.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like overpowering.
It was more like a low lying like sizzle of sorts.
Yeah, it's more of a sizzle than that crackle.
Spider look.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, you get the nice where each row, you get the single row effects.
Yeah. How were the other colors in it? Like, were they pretty vibrant?
I
look
mean,
good here.
Yeah, for the most, yeah, I think the video was pretty similar to how it was in person.
Okay.
Yeah, you get mostly that willow effect within the tips, the colored tips on that stuff, But yeah, I think it was a pretty decent cake, and they were talking about it in the Cake App Discord today a little bit too.
Yeah, it's a good one. Really good.
Definitely something that could be consumer or even used in a show, right? You can take those slices, break them out, toss them in a show.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. What do you think on that one? 1 out of 10.
Scale. I mean, I'm not opposed to a little bit of that sizzle kind of like crack like that. I'm like an 8.2.
8.2. All right. Yeah, I'd give it a solid like 7, 8. Yeah.
Brandon, what do you think?
7.
7.
7.
6, 7.
6,
I don't
7.
know. It's a good filler.
Good filler. There you go. Yeah.
What's an ideal effect for you?
Long
In a cake or
quiet and long duration.
quiet and long duration?
Yeah.
Horsetails
Like a fountain, like a fountain.
Yeah,
there.
it doesn't really exist in 1.4.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Horsetails are nice. Some of the, I don't know. I haven't kept up with some of the 1.4 world or Fireworks world all that much in the past couple of years, all the different Pro Line brands. But some of them have like the, I don't know, like the Dahlia mines or whatever.
Yeah.
They're kind of like horsetail dahlias, I guess, or something. Those are kind of nice for 1.4.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean, give me some 1.3 horsetails or something, or waterfall. That's my favorite effect. Yeah, my favorite non like PGI shell that I can think of that I've seen like actually mass consumer or professional produced was we shot an 8-inch horsetail waterfall down at Thunder one year, and that thing drooped all the way to the ground.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was gorgeous.
It's funny, like, we as pyros, we look at, like, and I know personally, I look at a horsetail and I'm like, oh, yes, it touches the ground. But, like, general person or safety or, like, it has to die before it touches the ground. And I'm always like, no. Let it touch the ground.
Yeah, PGI, you get docked. Yeah, PGI, you get docked points if it touches the ground. But
I'm the one back there cheering because it actually hit the ground.
We touched kind of briefly on it earlier. You got a YouTube channel. Give a shout out to what your YouTube channel is, I guess.
Firecat8 is my YouTube channel. Somehow I managed to get the actual Firecat8 URL or whatever. So, there's a lot of demo videos out there that are old now because I used to post a lot of demo videos of individual cakes, and I would take the time to break them all apart. But I don't know, the past 5 or 6 years, it's mostly just been posting Pyro musicals from places I've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Where did the name originate?
What's that?
Where did the name originate from?
Oh, so I'm kind of a nerd, and back in the day, I used to play Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there was a card called Blistering Firecat that I really liked the art of. It wasn't a very good card, but I really liked the art of it. And so when I signed up for Pyro you need a username, right? And so I wanted to be Firecat. Well, Firecat was already taken.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Firecat8, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
There we go.
All right.
That's funny.
Then it just stuck. And I throw the watermark on there because people used to steal my videos. And people do still steal my videos, but whatever.
Yeah.
Now, you kind of mentioned a little bit of some of the content you've done in the past, like demos like that. You've also done things like Pyro Education Series and Entry to Finale. Here a few years ago, you were doing a Saturday Select kind of series. Anything from those series that the reason why maybe you put some of those out initially?
The education, I just thought there wasn't much out there that was decent or good. So I thought that would be worthwhile, like a benefit to the community. And it's kind of the same thing with Finale. Like there were a lot of people that had questions about Finale. We had just done a big group buy as a club for for the old Finale. But then they came out with Finale 3D like right after I released all those videos. So that wasn't relevant for very long. And then the Saturday Selects, like I was kind of thinking like, okay, maybe I'll try to make this channel bigger than it is, like try to up the viewer count or whatever. And the problem with Pyro is like, especially if I'm not posting demo videos, it's hard to get consistent content, which is what drives the algorithm on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta have something every week or every few days. And so I was like, well, what if I got a ton of videos. What if I just post old videos every week or something? And but that was right after my son was born, and it was just a lot going on, and it didn't get a lot of traction after the first 4 videos or whatever. And I was like, I'm not gonna stick with it. So
yeah, it's a lot of work too.
It is, yeah. Well, and then honestly, like what really killed it is I was trying to use some new stuff with Canva to like, anyways, for some of the video, like for some of the intro effects and stuff. And somehow there's some weird copyright stuff that like somehow they tagged that I'd used their content, even though I'd paid for it. Like somehow my YouTube account wasn't synced with my Canva account. And so like they were dinging me on that. And I was like, what is it? Then it wasn't getting very many views, and I was like, okay, this is not worth it. I don't care enough.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I mean, if people want to pay me, or maybe I start a Patreon, and enough people pay me, and I just travel the world to film stuff and can put stuff out every week, that'd be great. But otherwise, it's just a tough road to tread to be a true like Pyro YouTuber. I mean. TJ, I think, did great, but he posts a lot of demo videos every week, right? So he built up I don't know how many subscribers he has now, but he did really well sticking with that. And then, I don't know, otherwise, it seems like a lot of the guys are just people that post hot stuff. So
I don't know, man. That would be a tough gig. Like, I don't know how Pacifier does it. They literally just travel the world and just do video. Like, I mean, sure, it's a cool gig, but like, I don't know. Like, would it ruin fireworks to see that? I don't know. Sure, you get to travel to some really cool places. You get to see some really cool stuff, but I don't know. It would be very grueling for me. But
I mean, I'll say personally, like it's pretty boring watching some of the not awesome shows.
I get it. I know.
I mean, no offense to some of those people shooting some of those not awesome shows, but you get or watching some demos, like, oh my gosh, filming NFA, like, holy cow.
Oh yeah.
Because you see the same cake 4 times from four different rewraps, and
sometimes it's 4 times in the same demo from the same company.
So So, I mean, it's half the time it's the people that I'm interested in. Just going to an event and syncing up with people and finding out how they've been doing. Because some of the fireworks shows that you have seen are hard to top, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure.
And just kind of get back a little bit to like I know the Pyro Education series is something that I think I would assume is still relevant today. I mean, you recorded it many years ago, and a lot of that content is still relevant today. I mean, I know I've seen people get referred to your videos all the time over there, and so I think definitely anybody who's maybe getting into as a beginner into some of this stuff, I would definitely go over to Firecat8 and go to his playlist for his Pyro Education series, because there's some good stuff in there for beginners.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think I had a few videos on like show design theory and stuff too. I used some pipe cleaners for some pretty terrible props. But I think the content holds up. Like the theory, at least of how I think about designing a show, kind of holds up over time. And I've seen a lot of people, they don't necessarily think about how their small stuff gets stepped on by their big stuff or things like that. They don't necessarily think about how to stack the sky in different ways. And I don't think about how, okay, I got an effect way up here, so my audience is looking up, and then they're looking down. And then they missed the stuff way up there because they were looking down. So you kind of got to like, steer your audience to where you want them to be, and you can't flip back and forth between that. And so, it's...
Most definitely.
So I guess the next big topic is this camera gear.
Yeah.
Like I know there's some hot topics as to, we were talking about a little bit in the intro, right? GoPro, cell phone, cameras. I mean, what kind of gear are you using today, Brandon, for a lot of your videos?
I use a Panasonic Lumix S1. It's a full frame DSLR.
Okay.
Or not a DSLR, whatever they call it. The mirrorless, a full frame mirrorless.
Yeah.
And I've just had really good luck with Panasonic. I had a Panasonic GH4 before that, which is a micro four thirds camera. They both shoot 4K, but the S1 just has a bigger sensor. So bigger sensor equals better.
Yeah.
That's basically how that works. But for some reason, I've always just found Panasonic has really good color rendering, like out of the camera. But I'm sure you can get good footage with any, similarly comparable in price range camera.
It's not cheap. Holy smokes.
It's a good camera for photos too. So we use it for like family photos and stuff too. And then the lens is about equally expensive. I have a Sanyo. Is that what it is? I don't remember. It's an ultra wide angle. I don't remember what brand it is. But it's also, it's $1,300 or something for the lens.
Wow.
But that's the trick, is you got to get a good ultra wide angle lens. It doesn't really matter how good your camera is if your lens isn't wide angle. And fisheye, you can do some stuff in post to like take the fisheye out of it, but really you want an ultra wide angle lens that has low distortion. Otherwise you end up with really weird stuff happening, which is the problem.
And that's a problem like with the GoPro, right? You put the GoPro in that super wide and you get that really fisheye look.
Which they can take it out in post, right? Like they have an algorithm that'll flatten it and everything, but it bends your effects too, right?
Yeah,
and so like your mines and comments look weird if you, because like it's okay if you're doing it, from action footage or whatever, if you're mountain biking or snowboarding or whatever, like you don't necessarily notice that, because you don't necessarily notice the stuff that got bent is supposed to be straight. But if you bend a comet, right, like, okay, that's, everybody knows it's watching it. That's supposed to be straight. Why did it bend? So but like the gear is nothing crazy. Anybody can copy what I do. It's not that expensive.
The grand scheme of things,
and like the settings aren't all that crazy either. The big thing is just get there early. The biggest thing is get there before it gets dark, so that you can focus your camera. That is the number one thing. Now GoPros, you don't have to focus a GoPro, so kind of got that going for you. But if you have a camera that you have to focus, I mean, you want to focus when it's daylight so that you can focus on something about as far away as wherever the fireworks are going to be.
Yeah.
Because you can't just focus on infinity. Your fireworks will be blurry.
Yeah.
If you focus too far away. And I have shot blurry shows before, and it's not very fun.
Yeah.
It's not very fun.
So how do you determine that distance to focus on, like when you're at a shoot site? I mean, 'cause your camera's pointing in the sky, right? Are you trying to focus on something in the sky? Or are you trying to focus something?
I usually focus on
ahead?
the racks, like whatever. So I mean, or if it's a 1/4, like whatever the furthest away thing in the field is generally what I try to focus on. I mean, sometimes you can't see it very well, so sometimes there's a truck out there, and so I'd try to focus on the truck or whatever. Or there's trees nearby, you try to focus on the trees so you can see the leaves or whatever. But because hopefully, theoretically, hopefully, I'm about as far away from the fireworks as they're going to be in the sky.
Yeah.
And so, roughly.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned earlier, we talked a little bit about trying to pick up like audio, how that's kind of a challenge, like what kind of microphone are you using with your camera to help try to pick up better audio?
So for a long time, I used a Rode shotgun mic, Rode Video Mic Pro or something, which does okay. And that feeds it straight into the camera. That's a lot better than the camera one. The problem I had with the GH4 was it was like super hot in terms of what it would pick up. And so I had to get a little device that would basically like turn the volume down coming in from the camera so that it wasn't constantly clipping. Recently, within the past, year or two, Zach kind of got me trialing out a Zoom H1N, I think is what it's called. It's like $100, but it's like I think it's designed for doing interviews with people or something. But it's a separate audio recorder. And man, I tell you what, like even for a little $100 thing, it picks up a way better audio than your integrated like camera mic or anything does.
Yeah, that's not that bad at all, huh?
And so that's not, and there's so I haven't played around with this. There's a new technology they have. I don't remember what it's called. They have some new mic that they have that's like still under $100 or $2, something like that. But it'll basically record, I don't know how to explain this. It's like the audio equivalent of HDR for your phone or like for a video or something. So HDR, a lot of times when you film that, like you're recording at a couple of different exposures and then combining it so that you get a broader spectrum. They have an audio recorder now, several brands do, where it'll do the same thing. Like it'll record multiple different, I don't remember what they call them in the audio world. I'm not an audio guy, but multiple different versions. And that way you can have a version that's catching the higher stuff, a version that's catching the lower stuff, and it all kind of gets put together so that you don't have clipping on the high end, you don't lose stuff on the low end.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried that yet, so I don't know. Maybe Zach and I have the exact same microphone, and he swears that my sounds better. And we have we use the same settings too. It drives him crazy. I sent him my file, and he still thought that when he put it in his processing software, it sounded worse. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
That's funny.
Now, what kind of post processing software do you use to work on your videos?
I've used a couple of different things over the years. Right now, I use Premiere Pro, so Adobe Premiere Pro. I don't need 99% of the features in Premiere Pro, but it's just kind of like what I've learned over the years in terms of like how to do what I want to do. So that's what I use. When I used to
teach me how to use Premiere Pro.
When I used to do the demo videos, Premiere Pro was really nice because I forget what they call it. They have so many applications, but they have like a different application, media manager or something. But anyways, you could basically queue up a bunch of stuff you wanted to process, but not process it. So you queue it all up, and then I could process it and go to bed, and it would crank out all the videos overnight or whatever, and,
That's nice.
and rather than doing them one at a time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. I think, what is it, DaVinci Resolve, I think is free. I think that probably, if you were just getting into it, it's probably what I'd recommend. I think that's a pretty like flagship thing. I mean, I think it's got plugins you can pay for, but I mean, I think that's like probably has the same feature set as Premiere Pro, I would imagine. Because I think it's used like in the film industry. It's a pretty legit piece of software as far as I know.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty interesting.
And then for maybe somebody who's wanting to get into photographing and recording fireworks, any tips or suggestions or must-haves that they should be looking into?
You must have a tripod. You must get there before dark.
Yeah.
And you must go to a lot of events.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the big thing, is you just got to learn how to use your camera, and that's the really tough part. Is I mean, there's a lot of different conditions in which you film fireworks, and those may change slightly how you want to set your settings up or whatever. And I don't think any how-to video or whatever can cover all the different situations. You just kind of got to do it. So when I got my GH4, I think I literally went to a demo every weekend for like 8 or 9 weeks.
Wow.
Sometimes 2 demos a weekend. Like that's the Midwest, that you can actually go to that many demos if you're willing to drive. But I put out a ton of videos because I just wanted to play with different settings and stuff, and so that kind of helped me narrow in on what I liked. Because otherwise, I mean, it's hard to film fireworks, right? There's not that many opportunities you get to do it. So if you want to film your show, like, you better get out and film some other stuff so that you don't screw up your show.
Interesting. Yeah, now you got me signing up for this DaVinci Resolve. I'm gonna look into it.
I get kickbacks on that.
Promo code Firecat8.
Firecat8. 50% off now.
And then, I mean, I know we've talked about earlier too, like the whole phone versus GoPro versus professional cameras. Like, obviously, all can do different things. Pros, cons. I mean, do you film with anything other than a camera? Do you do any filming with GoPros or phones? Or like that?
I've used GoPros before. They can be decent. I used. It's a really weird story, but I filmed a private documentary one time and used some GoPros in that. And so you can get good stuff out of it. I like to use GoPros for, like, stick them on the racks so you can, like, see, like, the, all the fire coming out of the mortar tube or whatever, or point it at the ground so you can see all the ignition from the cakes and stuff, just some of that other stuff. And then I might use my phone if I don't have my other camera somewhere, or I just want to shoot something cool. I mean, they do pretty good anymore. Especially if you've got, like, a newer phone that has, like, the image stabilization, so even if you're just holding it, it'll look decent. Or if you got a gimbal that you can throw your phone on or whatever. I mean, the Osmos or whatever. I mean, you can get the older version of Osmos for like $80, and then you have a gimbal that stabilizes everything. So, I haven't posted them, but I have a bunch of videos from when Dan and I did the Tom Bet George Christmas light show in December, and I mean, I think the videos would be decent. I just haven't ever gotten around to posting them yet.
Now that you've made it public, now you gotta have to.
I mean, he's got his videos out there. Like he's got a full production company that does them. So if you want to see what it looks like, that looked way better.
Yeah. Like, how? Speaking of that, how was that? Like, what? Like, just get a call from Dan, like, hey, come help me, or like, do this, like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was not his first pick. I was his first pick that was available to travel on very short notice.
Yes.
I just happened to have taken the time that he was going to be out there. I already just happened to have off, and I didn't really have any plans. I was just taking that week off, and So pivoted some plans, and yeah.
That's awesome.
It was interesting.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
All right. Now we need an explanation.
Yeah. So I had just like literally put some of the individually controllable LEDs like on my house.
Yeah.
So I just barely dipped my toe into the waters, and then I get this call to like go play in the absolute major leagues of this stuff. So it was really cool to see all this stuff.
Like the major leagues are the major leagues.
Yes. So it's really cool to see all this stuff. It's very similar to fireworks in a lot of regards, and it's totally different in other regards. They, I don't know if I'm allowed to like give away, like, expose too much behind the scenes stuff, but, in fireworks, you have to script your show, and you got to be done scripting your show, and you set your show up and you shoot it, right? Like,
yeah,
that concept doesn't exist for them.
Right. They just over and over and over and over and over.
And you can output real time from the scripting software to real life. Right?
Oh, wow.
Like you don't have to wait for it to process anything. Like when they run the finals show, they do, but like you can be in your scripting software watching it on the house. And so you can just replay, 2 seconds or whatever that you're trying to dial in and see it in real life, in real time.
Wow.
And so I don't know about you guys, like what you script down to, but fireworks is probably what, 1/10 of a second at best.
Most of the time, yeah.
And they're down to 1/100th of a second.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't. I spent a lot of time doing grunt work, but Dan spent a lot of time trying to get really specific with when the fireworks would happen.
Yeah.
And not when they would launch, because they were behind his house.
Yeah, because they had to clear the house.
Yeah, so they were trying to get really specific with like exactly how much pre-fire it took for when that comet was going to clear the house. And it's like, guys, like this stuff isn't that precise. And I mean, it was good stuff. Most of it was the Italia stuff. So, I mean, it was good stuff, but still, I mean, it's like, this is literally a chemical reaction that's happening here. This is not, this is not electronics here. So it was, it's an interesting, and it wasn't their first time having fireworks there. I think we did a lot more. I think we did a lot more fireworks than they had seen the last time. I think we brought a lot more. So I think they were happy with how it turned out, but it also was raining.
That
was its own host of problems. And then there were issues with the time code and how that works. That we had to feed off a time code, and they had 5 different songs, and every single song started at 0. So it was 5 different scripts. So Dan actually had 6 scripts, 1 with everything, so we could check continuity, and then 1 script for each song. And this was where someone was debating this with me on your Discord about whether or not I was right. And they can go test it if they want, because I know I'm right. But if your module is armed and you reload the script, or you're like, it will not resync to that module. Your module will have whatever script it had when it got armed. So we spent a long time troubleshooting why fireworks that were not in the song were going off at the start of certain songs or whatever. Like fireworks from other songs were going on during a song that script was not loaded. That script was not on the remote, but those fireworks were going off. And
interesting.
We called Cobra, and I didn't talk to Cobra. Dan was, but they didn't know what was going on. So eventually we just went and power cycled everything because we were running out of time. And that did it. That worked. I mean, it was kind of a shot in the dark where we weren't really expecting it to work, but it worked. And so then we were up against the gun because the permit was expiring. And so we'd shoot a song, and I'd zip out there on their gator, me and this other guy, and would power cycle. I don't know, it was like 50 mods or something. We'd run through literally run through the field. We were sprinting, running through the field, power cycling every single mod, come back over, shoot that song, go back out, power cycle them all. So I don't know if it was a version of firmware whoever it was on your Discord that told me I'm wrong knows something that we don't. But yeah, we learned some things there.
Interesting.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then
Interesting.
They did lasers that year, so they had a guy doing lasers, and that adds a whole other element to a show because then you gotta.
Well, he lives in California too, right?
He does, yeah.
So that adds a whole nother level to the fireworks.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's probably a good thing it was raining, to be honest with you. Like, otherwise would have been very dry out there.
Yeah,
and, I think there would have been some fires.
Yeah. Man.
So like my personal thought on it is, I mean, I think it's cool what they do in combining it all. So I said I'd put some Christmas lights in my house or whatever, and I'm going to do more this year. So I'm obviously into that, and I like that, but I don't really think the two go together. Maybe they do in video.
Yeah.
Because if you frame it right and you see it right and everything, like it looks okay, but the fireworks just dominate in person. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
There's
really,
no comparison.
Right. I mean, again, fireworks are, hitting 5 of the 6 senses, whereas, lights or drones are really only hitting 1. Right?
Yeah, it's just the scale of it. I mean,
yeah.
Even the stuff we were shooting, a comet goes 100 feet in the air or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's quite a bit bigger than the guy's. I mean, it's a big house, but it's quite a bit bigger than that house, right?
Yeah.
And it's quite a bit brighter than any one of those LEDs. So I just, I think the videos look really cool, but like seeing it in person, I do think and it's not because I'm a fireworks guy. Like, I'm not sure I am a fireworks guy anymore. I haven't shot a show in quite a while, but I just think the fireworks dominate over the lights. So it was interesting.
Interesting.
This is Pyro News, brought to you by Dominator Fireworks.
Dominator Fireworks.
They are one of China's fastest growing fireworks brands.
That they are.
Dominator Fireworks covers all categories of fireworks, including consumer fireworks and professional display pyrotechnics. In addition to the Dominator brand products, they produce many private label products for their customers. Dominator can custom manufacture or procure any product for your exact packaging and product specifications, or they can recommend products that suit your market's needs. Shout out to Matt over there at Dominator for continuing to support us this season. And it's good seeing him at CobraCon.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
It was good to hang out, and we took the daytime product and did the national anthem for Dominator, and it was really unique to be able to do that, and it was a lot of fun. Ellery decided he wanted to tell me I was not the first daytime national anthem, so but I will tell him that I think it was the best. So
it was good. It was good. The colors, really good. The colors, that stuff was crazy.
Oh yeah, it was actually really. Yeah, I genuinely was impressed with the colors of the smoke and everything, and yeah, it was really good. All the way down to like we were using red go-getters, and you could still see them in the daylight.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
All right. So for news this week, I know tariff stuff has been in the news all the time, nonstop. But we'll get away from that. We'll go back over to the bad stuff again, like we always like to talk about. Always have the bad ones for us.
Yeah. Like tariffs are good.
The police investigate a dangerous firework incident. This is in your neck of the woods, David.
Really?
Evansville, Indiana.
Holy smokes! Yeah, sure enough.
Yeah. Evansville police are investigating an incident where fireworks were launched at an elderly woman's home on North Fairs Avenue early Sunday morning. This was just this last weekend.
Yeah.
Officers responded to a report of criminal mischief after receiving multiple 911 calls. The woman's granddaughter was one who called 911, telling dispatchers she believed a bomb had been thrown through the window. I need somebody here ASAP. They threw something at my grandma's house. It was a bomb, and it blew her whole window out, the granddaughter said. The victim was unable to provide a suspect description. A neighbor who also called 911 told dispatch they did not see the incident, but surveillance cameras across the street recorded it. When officers arrived, they found multiple broken windows, burnt paper, and a white powder residue on the porch. Surveillance footage showed a dark-colored SUV circle the block once before stopping near the home. Someone inside the vehicle appeared to light a firework and shoot it towards the house before speeding off. Obviously, said it could have been a lot worse if it had been landed on something flammable, curtain, blankets like that. Definitely would have been a lot worse than it was. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. Nothing serious, but they are still looking for the people who did this. So, again, don't go around, drive around and shoot fireworks out of your car at people's houses. That's not nice. Yeah, guessing that was probably either a rocket or a cancer shell of some kind, it sounds like, probably.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So, yeah, everybody's favorite stuff there, all the bad stuff. I can't find anything good anymore.
Nothing good.
Nothing
Maybe
good.
we'll get
You guys ever looked up the Columbia Fireworks Wars?
Fireworks Wars?
Yeah.
Churches?
No, it's in Columbia, Missouri. No, it's in Columbia, Missouri. Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't seen this one.
Some research for you.
Some research for you.
I have to look that one up. What was it? They do the two churches, and I can't remember where it is. They shoot rockets back and forth at each other. You ever seen the videos of that? That's really awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, David, you want to run through those Discord questions?
Yeah, most definitely. Let's see. When's the next Firecat show?
I don't know. It's hopefully like a Christmas light show, maybe for Halloween or something.
Yeah. Right.
So
I mean, rumor is you're buying fireworks.
I am buying fireworks, yeah, but most of that's just to aggravate the neighbors, I think. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I could do a show at Thunder, but I think we're going to be on a road trip during Thunder this year. It's only an hour from where they do Thunder now, so maybe Thunder next year. I'll do a show.
I know it's been a while.
Very good.
I gotta get all my equipment back though. I had loaned all my single shot stuff to Andy like 2 years ago. So I gotta get that back.
Let's see. When are you picking up your cases from Travis's that you ordered on March 11th?
Hopefully June 7th.
There you go, Travis. June 7th.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Toughest shoot sites to film.
Usually raceways, like any sort of track.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is usually because you just can't get very far away. Like you're constrained to how far away you can get. Otherwise, you're behind the grandstands.
Yep.
And then PGI, half the time you're not lined up with the field, so yeah, you end up filming off center or whatever. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite shoot site Favorite shoot site to film from.
I don't know. I don't know that it really matters.
No.
I mean, Sky Wars is pretty nice now.
Yeah.
We were. I don't know. Just seeing where you can get far away. That's the main thing, I think.
Yeah. You need to see this new field. I was hoping they'd start posting some pictures of it. Get some people excited.
I have to call Rob and find out what's going on.
If you're listening, Rob, post them up. Need some action pictures of this field. Next one. Have you recovered from the mud pit of 2016? See, it's gonna come up.
Yeah, that was. I recovered. We shot some more shows. Yeah, it's really the Vinny show burned me out. It was when we shot the grand finale in 2019 or whatever show we had 99 eighths in. That's the show that broke me, I think.
Yeah.
It was more like, okay, now what do we do? We're going to do more than 99 eighths.
Yeah, 100.
And then look at what Donnie did. So
Yeah.
turns out
you were originally a part of that show. Remember,
well,
and you bailed on us halfway through.
I had to move. I had to move. So
Yeah.
So Brandon was on the team. We picked out a music song just for him because he liked it. And it was not a slow song. By the way, he mentioned earlier he loves slow songs. He picked a fast, upbeat song for him.
It was a remix of a slow song.
It's a remix.
Yeah.
And then we're waiting. Brandon, you going to script? You going to script, Brandon? He's like, no, I'm moving. I don't have time to script.
Sorry, guys.
But then that gave Zach Hubrecht's opportunity. And
yeah, that was my grand plan all along. Put a more qualified individual in there.
A more qualified individual. And he was just there to heckle us the whole time. That's all he did anyway. He just heckled us.
That's pretty much what. Now, when I was originally brought on, I was supposed to be a consultant. So
you're a consultant.
Yeah, I think that's what Richie told me. So.
And you got ripped into being.
Yeah. You can include me on the next one. I don't think I'm part of that channel yet. So
no.
I would love to heckle you some more.
See,
I'll stand on the sidelines and heckle.
I don't know that I provided any positive help to that show at all.
Let's see. If money and time were not an issue, what would you do differently when recording fireworks?
Go to more shows.
All right.
Yeah.
No camera upgrades, nothing like that.
I don't know. I mean, probably, but I'm sure you can throw money at it and get better footage and better audio and stuff. But I imagine the costs go up pretty
substantially.
Yeah, like I imagine it's an L curve. And so I haven't looked at what's out there because I have no desire to spend more money than I have on things. Like I assume the next step up is $10,000 or $20,000, and that's not happening. So I'm not going to go look at what are the red cameras or whatever or some of that stuff. I mean, I'm sure Zach knows all the stuff that I should be swanning over in terms of technology. So yeah, for me, I mean, the straight answer to the question is just if I had more money, I'd go to more events and film more shows. I mean, like I'd love to go to the big stuff. I mean, Malta or Montreal, stuff like that. But I mean, the problem is it's 3 or 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Do a few shows one night and then you got to stick around a whole week to see more. And it's, I mean, even doing a vacation, I can't take a vacation for a month. So
yeah.
It's just tough to go film all that, right? Like you kind of have to be local to that. So.
Yeah.
But if anybody's interested and wants me to start a Patreon so you can all fund me to do that, let me know.
There you go. Find Firecat8 on Patreon coming soon.
Probably not. But but if your viewers really want that, you can let me know, Donnie.
All right.
All right, we're going to hop into this Pyro Unleashed Final 5 questions.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Muxboard.
Yeah.
Shout out to CJ or their Muxboard for sponsoring us. And
really appreciate it.
And if you won our prize pack at CobraCon, it might have something to do with Muxboard. Might have some stuff in that pack. So
a lot of
still waiting for somebody to reach out to us. So reach out to us if you got that prize pack.
I'm going to tell you, if somebody doesn't take it, I will.
Yeah, we're going to give it.
Good stuff, man.
So Brandon, we have our final 5. We ask these same 5 questions to every guest, just to kind of see everybody's response are, and we'll have some fun with it probably during the off season here. So most of these are fireworks related, so it should be pretty simple for you, hopefully. First question: what is your favorite consumer cake?
So like not Proline or
consumer cake.
Consumer.
Okay. What can it be? Hot?
Sure.
I don't. MTK.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember it. What's the name of the 100-shot one? I don't know. Need for Speed. I don't know. It changes every year, but.
I just was looking at it. There's a new 130 shot out Master $1 Million piece. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not.
Oh.
Maybe
so
in
putting
the
out
show
information that people don't know about yet.
in the shows, I like slow stuff, long breaking stuff, but just in general, I mean, I like thumpy stuff to just shoot in the neighborhood.
Yep, good stuff.
All right, question 2. If you had to choose only one for the rest of your pyro career, are you choosing 1.4 or 1.3 product?
1.4.
Okay. Any particular reason?
I just think regulations will get worse in the 1.3 world.
Okay. Good one.
Or any sort of red tape, ability to import, transport, whatever.
All right. Question 3. If you could start your fireworks career over again, anything you might do differently?
Not almost burn down my parents' house.
Oh, all right.
That's probably a good one. That's probably a good
That
reason.
would be a good one. Yeah. Ugh.
I'm sure there's a story there now. Now you got to break the story.
Open the floodgates on that one. No.
Don't put all your fountains in the trash can the same night you shoot them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just life advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a good thing they have a brick house. There was not a trash can left. There was a metal axle left. That was it.
Oh. Jeez. Question 4. What is your favorite thing about being in this industry?
The people that you meet. Like I said, I don't know that I'd still be in Pyro if it wasn't for some of the people I've met. I've truly made some lifelong friends, and it's just fun to hang out with the people. Some of them are weird. Some of them are weird, but that makes it interesting, right? So, people. I definitely got into it because I liked fireworks, and I thought seeing fireworks lots of times a year was awesome. But I think it's more so the people and just, I guess, some of the creativity of it. I don't traditionally think of myself as a creative person, but get me thinking about shooting a show or something, and I guess that's where the left side of the brain starts working for me.
Yeah. Yep.
And 5th and final, if you were a flavor of ice cream, what flavor would you be?
Chocolate brownie.
Chocolate brownie, okay.
I think that's more so just my favorite flavor.
Just more so, that works.
Yeah, you are what you eat, right?
Absolutely. Well, I think we're going to wrap things up here, for tonight. And I want to thank Brandon for coming on and hanging out with us. This has been
great.
Quite a treat.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
A lot of us in KCAP, we get to hear some of the stories and some of the things from Brandon. So it's good to be able to share some of the great adventures of Firecat8 to everybody.
Yeah.
Story time.
Story time.
All right. Well, I got a little bit of snippet information here. I'm sure you probably just see me writing it down here. I have been given the A-OK that I can release this. So you guys, if you're hearing this, you are hearing it first. Pyrotechnics Guild International is going to be starting a podcast here very, very soon as well. I have been working pretty closely with them on some of the back end of that, finding hosts, gear, hosting platforms, etc., etc., etc. And currently, we are looking for a new host. We have one lined up. So looking forward to seeing the dynamic of that. But we are looking for one more person to co-host the PGI podcast. Please note you do need to be a PGI member and plan to go to conventions. But if this is something you are interested in, feel free to reach out to me. my email is david@pyrounleashedpodcast.com. I would love to have a chat with you, take it to the board, and see where everybody, how everything's going to work out. Looking forward to seeing where that goes. I know I've been working on a lot with Alex Egan on getting like the logo and just a lot of the other stuff in the back end. That just small details, but in the grand scheme of things, it is it does all add up. So yeah, again, if you are interested in being a co-host, feel free to reach out. Would love to get you in touch with the appropriate people, have some phone conversations, probably some Zoom calls or team meetings or stuff like that. So again, feel free to reach out to me. Email is David at Arcan Fireworks too, but David at PyroUnleashedPodcast.com. We'll see where that goes. So
I'll send you my resume. I'll send you my resume.
Oh man,
we should volunteer Brandon for that.
Brandon.
Yeah,
he's maybe be doing a lot of video.
Does it come with a PGI membership? Is that what you said?
No, you have to be a PGI member.
Can they make me one?
Can they make?
Yeah, for whatever the dues are.
Oh, I see.
And if you give him a free convention pass, he'll be there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I have to have a conversation on that so we can get some more official video. But
hook me up. Yeah, get me there, and we can do some video.
I don't have that much pull.
Sure you do. You're starting a podcast for him. Doesn't Muzzy run that stuff now? I mean, come on.
He runs a lot of that stuff. He runs more of the conventions and the
seminars.
There we go.
Stuff. Yeah.
So. You can cut this part out.
And as always, be sure to go to PyroUnleashedPodcast.com. Can get to our merch store, buy some gear to rock at your next event. Obviously, jump over to Discord. Come hang out with us over there.
Rumor has it there might be another Discord episode recording coming up this season.
Yeah, there might be. Yeah, so kind of let the cat out of the bag on that. The last one was kind of super
impromptu.
However, we got enough feedback from it that we have decided to do a second episode. Just be on the lookout for that. We'll be posting details in Discord only. So if you want to be a part of that, join our Discord. And it will be very limited. So the first 10 people to join in, I believe it is, right? Will be the ones in there. I know we had chatted a little bit, Donnie, about maybe doing a Discord live. So we'll still work on all the details on that. We'll figure all that out. But right now we're sitting at 10 people. So be sure to go over and you'll hear a lot more of the details in the upcoming weeks.
All right, with that again, guys. Again, I want to shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, thank you
for coming
again
on, hang out with us.
It's been a lot of fun to hang out with you and chat.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Find him over on YouTube at Firecat8.
Yep.
Simple as that. And so, again, guys, on Friday, you should be seeing a finale tip of the week on Friday.
Yeah.
We got another one this week. This week, I know, goes into more of the VDL stuff again, some more advanced VDL and the effects editor. So you're going to want to check that out on Friday. And again, you'll catch us every Wednesday, the regular episode. And in the meantime, go out there and unleash your inner pyro with us.
This has been another episode of Pyro Unleashed. Come back each week for more industry insights, technical tips, and awesome pyro designs. Have fun out there, be safe, and as always, remember to unleash your inner pyro with us.